Oh gosh, you've booked like an ultimate arm camera.
Look at that, Scott.
Look at that!
Look at the toy.
Look at that!
The famous co-presenter of the UK's Channel 4 series For the Love of Cars, Ant Anstead, has had a successful yet tumultuous life in the spotlight, and his career is nothing short of very unique mix. Throughout his years in show business, he's enjoyed massive success as a host of various high-profile titles, such as Wheeler Dealers, Entertainment Tonight, and Celebrity IOU Joyride. Being one of the most prominent British TV personalities definitely has its perks, but it hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows for Ant. For example, the public is generally in the know regarding his relationships and other intimate information. With that in mind, many have wondered why Anstead now has 2 divorces in his wake, with 3 children from those failed marriages. To understand what led the presenter towards moving on from both of the women he wedded, fans must first be familiar with his upbringing and strange career choices. Ant never planned on being famous to begin with, which changed the perspective on many aspects regarding him. The former soccer star was born Anthony Richard Anstead on the 28th of March, 1979, in Plymouth, Devon, England, and was raised apparently an only child, primarily in Ely, Cambridgeshire, to where the family moved shortly after his birth. Ant spent the next 10 years of his life there, at which point he and his parents relocated to Hertfordshire in southern England. It was there that he attended Richard Hale School and subsequently the coeducational Haileybury School to complete A-level tests, matriculating in 1997. Ant had various interests as a child, but he was most particularly into soccer and cars, both of which passions were fully supported by his parents. For reasons still undisclosed to the media, Anstead chose not to enter college and instead worked odd jobs for a short while, finding steady employment in 1999 as a police constable, primarily set onto duty in Bishop's Stortford, close to where his family's home is situated. He relocated to the Cheshunt Police Station, another Hertfordshire town, then eventually joined the Tactical Firearms Unit, the TFU, based in nearby Welwyn Garden City, serving with which branch of the police granted Ant a lot of experience with firearms and tactical urban combat. The TFU is the most combat-ready specialist operational group of the British Ministry of Defence, alongside the Special Escort Group, Operational Support Unit, and Central Support Group. Their mission is to provide firearms capability for the defence of the UK's strategic nuclear deterrent. The government's website cites this particular unit as having officers who practice their craft in a highly demanding environment, making them some of the best prepared authorized firearms officers in the UK. They have vital urban combat skills, such as rapid intervention and dynamic entry, on the quality of which many lives across the world tend to depend. The selection process for this unit is considered rather rigorous and unforgiving, after which the officers become qualified for tactical dynamic search. Anstead received the 2 commendations for acts of bravery during his service with the TFU. However, even though he had a flourishing career as a special unit operative, Ant didn't seem satisfied with his life, and thus in 2005 switched to his childhood passion, building cars. Anstead opened a shop and began both fixing and completely remodeling vehicles for his growing clientele for several years, until his first television stint in 2014. While doing all this, Ant was also playing soccer semi-professionally, something he kept up with for 15 years. As such, he had accumulated more than 700 matches at Ryman level, which is part of the Isthmian League, a regional soccer league for men that persists in the southeast England areas. Anstead started his soccer career as a goalkeeper, but eventually transitioned into a striker in 2013, after winning a Ryman League promotion again upon changing his calling, and automatically became the only player to take a Ryman League promotion win home in 2 different positions. Anthony's first TV appearance took place in 2014, when he was featured alongside Philip Glenister as the co-host of the automotive documentary TV series For the Love of Cars, in which he remained for 14 episodes during 2014 and 2015. This was only the beginning, though, and he continued involvement with the shows and other programs that he had to do with car building. His media breakthrough came right after Ant founded his own TV production company in 2014 called Ant Anstead Limited. His next appearance on television closely followed the last episode of For the Love of Cars that he was in, which was the time he presented live car building alongside the legendary Top Gear journalist James May, as well as presenter Kate Humble in BBC's live show entitled Building Cars Live. In 2016, he hosted 3 episodes of Chinese New Year, the biggest celebration on Earth, and featured as a guest in the talk show Sunday Brunch. After being presented as a car restoration expert and all-around car nut, Ant appeared on camera saying, "I live and breathe cars. They're my life, every day. There's something about cars. I've grown up with cars, I'm a big classic car fan, and these classic cars have become part of the family. We all name our cars. We all have memorable stories in them." Hosts Tim Lovejoy and Simon Reimer curiously watched Ant as he spilled his passion in front of them, with Reimer then asking, "So, have we lost something there with modern cars?" To which Ant replied, Yeah, I guess so. I mean, modern cars have been built in very sort of safe production car facility. Some car companies are still doing things that are cutting edge, that evoke design, but for me, that period, sort of the 50s and 60s, is there." Ant appeared in 3 more titles in 2016, in each of which he expressed his unwavering love for cars and building them, while the extent of his automotive knowledge kept growing with worldwide audiences. He also presented the film Britain's Greatest Invention in 2017, as well as hosting an episode of World's Most Expensive Cars, in which a panel of automotive experts go over the 5 greatest sports cars ever created in their opinion, which were then rated best to worst depending on design and performance. As though that wasn't enough, he also hosted 6 episodes of Craft It Yourself that year, but most importantly, he replaced car connoisseur colleague and TV presenter Edward John China, known widely as Ed China, as the co-host of the documentary automotive series Wheeler Dealers. He hosted 34 episodes of the show from 2017 to 2019. However, on November 4th, he announced that he'd be leaving the show due to his, at the time, fresh second divorce. He said, "It was a massive life change for me, obviously. Moving countries is very difficult in itself, but moving countries and taking over an established show was kind of overwhelming. But now that some years have passed, I've really settled in. I really have established my life here." In the video mostly centered on a brand new host coming to the show to take over from Ant, who was leaving permanently, there was a moment when his colleague said, "People are going to say, Brewer can't hold on to these mechanics and all this nonsense." To which Ant replied with, "People say that about me and my wives." In 2019, he showed up in the film entitled Barrett Jackson Live, as well as in 2 episodes of Christina on the Coast. Most prominently, though, he built a brand new car over 12 episodes of his own documentary TV series entitled Ant Anstead Master Mechanic. In the show, he used redundant spare parts and even took apart donated cars to build an Alfa Romeo 158 tribute car from start to finish. This process wasn't easy, though, and so a lot of experts wrote in from the sidelines to help the project along. In 2020, Ant skipped on-screen appearances, most likely being rather overwhelmed with a lengthy divorce process, which lasted for almost 2 years. He made the grand return in 2021, however, by hosting 6 episodes of Celebrity IOU, Joyride, as well as co-hosting 4 episodes of Entertainment Tonight, and the same year, he was also involved in the TV special entitled Drew's Dream Car. Finally, Ant had continued in 2022, having appeared in 4 titles by late November. He showed up in the TV series entitled Radford Returns, as well as in the eponymous TV special, in which he is featured as the co-owner and chief engineer of the company called Radford Motors. He made an appearance in the short film entitled Shakedown Before Monterey, and lastly, another in Hot Laps at Laguna Seca. The first hint of romantic involvement in Anstead's life began in the late 1990s when he met and started dating Louise Herbert. They fell in love, but kept their relationship out of the reach of the media for close to 7 years, ultimately going public and marrying in 2005. They have 2 children together, Amelia born in 2003 and Archie in 2006. They ultimately filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences, which was officiated in October 2017. Although legally and romantically separated, the pair never stopped caring for their children and stayed on the most amicable terms for their sake. As told by People magazine, Ant said, "We spent 22 years together from teenagers to adults, and to this day remain very close friends, and we stay in regular contact, almost daily." To that he added, "We have 2 amazing kids together who we are incredibly proud of, and we will forever be family." Regarding Louise's wedding to her second husband, he said, "I wish them a lifetime full of happiness." Right after divorcing Louise, Ant moved to the U.S. and dedicated himself to filming episodes of Wheeler Dealers. It was there that he eventually met fellow host and show business colleague Christina Hack, who was at the time working on HGTV and who later hosted her own Christina on the Coast. They went slowly at first, ultimately starting a relationship in late 2017 and subsequently marrying on the 22nd of December 2018. They have a son together named Ant Anstead, who has thus far been the subject of some controversy. This marriage also failed for Ant, who started going through another divorce in late 2019. The court process took approximately a year and a half, ending on the 21st of June 2021. Finally, Ant began dating actress Renee Zellweger a few months after his second divorce was finalized. She's proven to be instrumental help for Anstead in the post-divorce settlement issues that remain between him and Christina. As Daily Mail's online portal put it, Ant Anstead and Renee Zellweger put on a brave face amid his bitter custody battle with ex-Christina Hall as they take his son to Laguna Beach Halloween Parade. In the latter half of 2022, Christina and Ant continue to fight each other in the media, with articles such as from page6.com detailing how his ex-wife called him out for sharing a disgusting article. In short, Christina accused Ant of intentionally keeping their child in the spotlight so as to ease his court battle for the custody of the child. She said, "Ant Anstead is so clearly projecting it's not even funny. He's the only one ensuring that Hudson's name stay in the press. Hudson's Law? Give me a break." Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos, which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.